Let's get rid of the crap. We don't need this. We certainly don't need that. We don't need this. We certainly don't need that. We just need to know what's next. This is next right here. This hold level right here. So you have one of two hold levels that will get hit. So it's just like, what's next, right? That's all we care about. Just like, what's next? Look at that. Hold levels hit. Actually, oops, I marked the wrong line. I updated. It should be here, right? Because this is the hold level of the move. Perfectly hit, right? What's next is important. So, the decision between, come on, oh, magnet tool. You are amazing. Okay, let's try it this way. Either one of these positions would have granted you profits. It's just how greedy you were. You could have actually targeted this little 1 minute hold level. This looks like it's about a 1 minute hold level. You could have actually targeted this, probably gotten filled in the future. So I'm assuming this gets hit sometime in the future. I'm not 100% sure. I just haven't charted today. But you have like just what's next, man. That's it. And then so on the other side too, it's like, okay, here's the top of the range. Could you not have just shorted this down to one of these targets? So could you not have just also taken the short and hey, there's 200% there? And like how long are we talking about here? So 125 to 825. There's like 500-600 potential percent here just off a few easy little levels. Like that, this is kind of stupid, right? And this is just like mark a few levels, put them on your screen, have accuracy, and then like top of the range. So you could have set a sell here. There's no reason why you couldn't have just been in this trade and been like, oh, there's nothing else to even target in this trade. So should I not just short the greediest level? Yeah, for sure you should. Like, hey, it's right there. And then even if you did nothing else, you didn't have to catch this. You didn't have to catch this. Like, you didn't have to get this one, or this one's gone, so we don't need it. Now, now this one is next, and it's just always what's next. What's next in the move is what is important, right? That's it. Even now, it's like, what's next? Oh, you got to hold over here. Okay, this should be a good target if you're in this move, or if it's not going to reach that, it's going to stop right here, kind of thing, right? And just make sure there's no higher time frame stuff. Yeah, okay, fine. You could stop at this one. This one right here possibly is one of those two levels. You guys make that decision. That's part of being pro, is understanding the right levels. And there's obviously 1,000 other things going on here that we're not talking about. So don't try to pick levels and be a clairvoyant. This is not about picking the right level and guessing. There's an exact as to which each level is going to get hit, but we're not talking about that today, right? So what we're talking about is like, how to make money in trading. And so the one level gets hit. Does your break get hit? I don't know, kind of. It kind of looks like more of a breakout point for the future. Maybe it's creating an origin here. Oh, and we're caught up. So actually, we didn't even test this level yet. So this is actually a really good one for the future, actually. So now you can just set a buy at 61.4683 or whatever, a couple $1 or $2 over, and just targeted its next level, right? So like, look, here's the range here, targets it. It's always just what's next. It never matters doing 9 p.m. at night and I'm charting away, and like I fell into that trap last night stupidly because I got excited because I saw how fast Bitcoin was stopping. Oh yeah, man, we're going right for 6K. Let's go. We're going after this 4-hour level, and it's super perfect. It's untested. It's nothing close to it. So it's kind of like this dream scenario. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make I already made 6% here on the way down, and I'm gonna max leverage out here 100x and go right from here to here, make another 8%. It's gonna be like a 20% day, and holy crap, that's gonna feel good because that's like a $50,000 day. Wow, that's great. One day 50K. That's they happen. It's quite often. This is what days like this do. They give us those kind of opportunities. So it's like, wow, yeah. And so we understood earlier how we could have saw this dump. It was on our screen there for us. It was the appropriate trend from here to here. So you could even go back to these moments here and more information to give us more things. But if you guys notice in that moment, one piece of information to give me one expectation, and that's it. Oh, I didn't. Let's remark it here. One piece of information to give me one expectation, and that's it. And we had already lost this trend. You see, so we had already lost trend here. One of the reasons why we had dumped when we did, we were just looking for the final rejection point in this move. We had already lost this trend. So this trend was already gone. And then so it hit. I think I had, my level was 66.73. I had to close my eyes for that one and think. Well, I know where my level was actually. It was It was right here. So this was my level that I was targeting. So we lost trend. I use this to target the distribution because, like, in my session yesterday when I'm with the mentees, we talked about how bad Bitcoin looks and it's losing its levels and blah 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 and some other things and stuff that, again, not focusing on that today. But okay, it was meant to dump, right? But it's just like, where do we catch the next moment, right? Like, where's the next moment? What can it target next, right? That's what we looked at. So it can target this next, okay? It went after the break of its move, which is fine. It can go after the break. It still had a bigger event happening that was going to, distribute it down. So it was like the same thing. What's next? What's next on this chart? And so it did go after something higher. It did go after whatever break or whatever it went. I didn't even look because I just had my position open and that was it. And I actually just didn't close it because I was pretty confident in it, right? So yeah, it had already lost trend. And it's just like, what's next? You didn't need to know all this other stuff. You simply would have had kind of the last moment here. And it's like, okay, try to hold this level. Try to hold this level right here. Come on. Now, you know what? Try to hold this level. Can't hold. Go attack this range right here. Probably, gonna go. They probably would have attacked a lower range here. Yeah, I probably would have tried to attack this range here, I'm assuming, which it did right there. It attacked that range there, couldn't hold its hold level, and then just fell right through this floor, right? So it's quite easy to understand why this thing dumped, right? Quite straightforward. If you would have had trend and, you pull it out, you could see the exact moment it lost its kind of final trend, hold level, final trend. Like, oh, it's right there on the screen. It's super easy. Like, this is like ABC charting almost. Well, no, it's not. We're quite advanced in this group. We're quite advanced traders. So no, maybe it's not ABC, but I think that there's a lot of people that this is starting to become ABC. So this is kind of like the as you get past future of trading and you're into blueprints and you guys start going into butterfly effect, like, there's different things that can show you, like, oh, hey, look, there's quite an easy spot here to see where you could have took a 9 or 10%, or even if you're still in the trade, you're still at whatever price you're at. You're still at positive 700% here on a 100x trade. So even if you only traded $200, you just made 1,400. So this was like, yeah, okay, fine. There's other stuff going on here that shows you how the move is dumping, but the kind of the tone and the idea is that, like, everybody's going to be at a different stage. Some people are going to be in FOT, some people are going to be in blueprint, some people are going to be in butterfly effect, but all three of these groups, they share a commonality, okay? The commonality is just, how do we make money every single day? So this is how we do it. We just look one step ahead. Never lose sleep over having an overabundance of stuff happening on your charts. Never lose sleep over whatever, any of these variables. It just doesn't matter because you're not going to be taking the trades anyways in those moments. So what the hell are you worried about? Wake up, look at your charts, mark what's next. You have so many opportunities to make money in this thing, guys. The thing that you won't make money on is if you don't have the necessary energy. You're not in a place where you have the mental capacity to make these decisions every day. If you're tired because you're up, waking up at 3 a.m. to check charts, like I used to all the time, like that was a lesson hard learned, is how to live healthy and just, there comes a point after years and years and years where you're just like, okay, it doesn't, like, man, there's just so much money to make every day. Why do I have to? That's also a confidence and experience thing. This level is easy to see. It's 2 big red candles on our screen. That's a 4-hour level. Like, this is super easy to see. So why can't we see all this stuff in between? Well, we can. We just need more experience. So it's like, okay, if you're in FOT, yeah, okay, you could probably make 800% off this trade. If you're further, you could have probably made that same 800% in maybe like this range here, right? You probably could have made percent here, percent there, 2% here, 2% there, kind of thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, point being is that no matter what, we can't be looking at all these big events and having kind of this chart puke that we have where there's just the real estate on our screen is so cluttered that we can't make decisions, because there's only ever one moment at a time in day trading. One moment at a time, right? That's all there ever is. Like, even I don't care how many times I do this, I just do this all the time. There's one moment in day trading. This was that one moment. Let's look for the higher information. Yeah, okay, fine. This one moment, right? 15-minute hold level, or what would have looked like an origin level. And even that would have had another level associated with it. That would have had different type of hold level, which would have been right here. This is a different type of hold level, right? Oh, 1 moment at a time. This is all we ever need to see is 1 moment at a time. Even if you saw the easier level, which was right here, you still did pretty good. You still probably be up like 100% right now. It definitely wouldn't have gotten liquidated. That's for sure. Yeah, you missed out on 50. Well, that's not 50%. Wait a second. Let's measure this properly here. Okay, magnet tool. Come on now. 40% difference. Yeah, even if you're still in it, you'd still be up like 90%. But if, okay, fine. If you understood the different types of holds and marking levels, I want you guys to understand something. Like, this is another hold level, but it's a different type of hold level. And it has a very specific set of information. It's not that I'm just marking random hold levels. They all have what I call data points. And data points are something that a few people in here know. Data points is a little bit more advanced. Again, butterfly effect stuff. It's not about just marking a level and one of them becomes true or not true, okay? We have levels all over our charts. This represents a very specific set of data. This represents a specific set of data. This one does too. This one does too. They all have a very specific set of data. Therefore, we have different types of levels that mean different things. What this hold level means here is something different than this here. Don't just pick random stuff on charts. Stick to what you know because they all have their place. Part of the trick to this game at a high level is understanding understanding when they're going to be used and when they're not. So don't just mark holds. Go with what you know. Go with like the less you have in terms of experience. Just go with the easy stuff. Like this is relatively easy. There's nothing left. You're not going to all of a sudden be here, right, and break up to this range up here for 6% off of something that's already moved up by 2 or 3% already. So it's already moved up 3%. Oh, this is just going to move up more because of whatever, or even up to here. It just doesn't make sense, right? Like this is the last level. Use it. It's there on the screen. It's black and white for you, right? Like just use it. Make a few percent off it. Put some 100x on that baby, and just let it fly, right? So it's like, yeah, okay. Don't mark levels you guys don't know because they all have a different meaning. And if you don't understand why they mean what they mean in that moment, because it changes the architecture of our charts at a higher level, this level is only good to short if criteria X happens. So it's only a data point type X or Y or Z or A, B or C if the architecture shows you something very specific in the chart. And the architecture is this. So this is why, like at a higher level of day trading, we only ever trade the next move. Only the next move ever. Nothing else matters. Just the next move, just the next move, just the next move, just the next move. And this is, even if we look at this in a very mundane way, like, okay, let's see a 15-minute hold level. Can we not just set a long here? Yeah, sure we can. It's untested. Why not? Yeah, of course we can. Could we not just go after, its range right here? Yeah, of course we can. This is well, of course what we can do. So what's your profits there? And it was only just the next move, and all I did was mark a couple levels on the chart. 125%. Holy hell! Like this is great. This is fantastic. Oh, this is fantastic. We have 125% for doing almost nothing. Like how crazy is that, right? Like this is stupid. How do you make 125% on such an easy trade? Wow, it's kind of right there. But it's just people don't see one step at a time, even if you only just sold the valley. But if you attack the valley, you're probably going to go up to the next inverse, right? At a minimum, you're going to, hey, we hit a valley, probably going to go to an inverse, right? So you would have had kind of this little stupid one right here. And so that breaks and you're here. So it's like, okay, just target the next inverse. Very simple, 125%. Most people, you could use $300 on that trade. Relatively low risk, $300 on a very simple trade. Make 300 and let's just call it 100%. Maybe you exited too soon. So we make $300 on this trade, and this is about the meekest, simplest solution or sample of this we could use. So 300, work 300 days a year. So you work 5 days a week, and you made 100K this year. It's taking one trade a day. Just mark two levels, and how much did you actually work for that? Like 15, 20 minutes a day. You marked your level, you kind of watched it, you kept an eye on it, then you just sold it. And so you made 100K for doing 15 minutes of work a day. Like this is, you start getting into making, hey, maybe you could have taken 2 or 3 of these and, $900 over 300 days, a year. Oh, wow, we have a real income now. And, start getting into bigger stuff where you maybe make, $2,000 a day. Wow, now you really have a pretty crazy income. And this stuff's all very simple. Like we're not doing rocket science here. We're using advanced technicals and just making good procedural decisions. So this is what I call procedural analysis, right? This is very much of what the blueprint is. It's like procedural analysis. This is just a little bit of a higher level of procedural analysis. So my definition, so I kind of created this because I saw these things in the market. So my definition of procedural analysis is our ability just to trade without technicals and mental analysis. So not without technicals as we don't use technicals, but without. So how can I explain this? Procedural analysis would be how we execute trades. So exactly what the blueprint is. Like, okay, how can you just make money? How can you just log on every day and make money? Where are your buying decisions? Where are your selling decisions? How are you executing trades? This is procedural analysis. This is what took me so far in trading all the years that I was learning, because I was a hell of a poker player. I was very good with bankroll management. I was very good with my mental state. I was very good with keeping a routine. I never went out. I never had a life. That's fine. I don't want one. I wanted to do this, right? So there's procedural analysis. It was the ability to, okay, how easy can I turn the world off outside of me? How frequently can I make sure I get to bed at 10 o'clock and wake up at 5 a.m.? Because when I trade, I wake up at like 4 a.m., just so you guys know. Like mentees are seeing that now, because I tell them like, hey guys, we're starting at 7 or 8 a.m. today. And for some of them, that's like, 4 in the morning. And I'm already up for 2 hours trading prior, right? So it's like, how often could I get up at 5 a.m. and have a few good hours of trading while I had my highest mental capacity in the day, which is in the morning, right? How often could I do that? How much could that schedule, could I keep to that schedule? Where can I make smart decisions? How patient can I be? Like, I've got a 15-minute level here. I actually had a better entry back here. Okay, even if I was right here, how patient can I be? Why would I take any entry but this? Why would I, even if it's in the moment to short, I should have already been in this trade from here. Even if I know the level is going, I don't know how many times I sit with people and I say, yeah, we're going down about 2%. And they say, well, we should take the short. No. We should have been up here. We're right here right now. What the hell are you getting in this move for? You should have caught the knife. You should see it better, right? So how patient can you be? Procedural analysis dictates whether or not we'll be successful. Mental analysis allows us to see if we have what it takes emotionally and mentally to keep up and be able to do this at a high rate. And the technical analysis just gives you your spots where you should buy. Technical analysis is just 1/3 of the piece, right? So every single day we trade, one step at a time. What is next? That's what we look at. That's what we do. Never anything outside of that. Again, just to kind of confirm. Let's go here. And it's like, yeah, a great moment. If we get there, I'll be happy to take the trade. If not, I don't care. I'll go to sleep. And if it happens overnight, oh well, just wake up tomorrow. So what? I missed 8% here. I can just take another 8% somewhere else. I don't care. Every single day I can take like 100, 2, 3, 4, 500% from these markets. What do I care about missing one random trade? What I do care about is losing money because I can't watch this trade.